We're going to try to factorize some quadratic expressions here. Here are four examples that we can try out. The first one, 2x squared plus 8x plus 4. That's a quadratic expression, of course. It's already in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is 3, b is 8, and then c is 4. So how do we factorize this? Let us use the AC method. We are going to multiply a by c. Okay? We're going to multiply a by c. So AC will be 3 times 4, and 3 times 4 is clearly 12. Now, with this 12, you want to find two numbers you can multiply to get 12, and at the same time, you have to be able to add those numbers to get a positive 8. You want to multiply to get 12 and add to get a positive 8. Let us test out some numbers. But first of all, you may want to notice that the two numbers must have the same sign, because you want to multiply and get 8 positive, and you want to add and get 8, so that means you want to add and get positive 8. That means the two numbers are going to be positive. So let us try some pairs of numbers. Let us try 1 times 12. Clearly that we're not going to add and get 8 there. Let's try the next factor, 2. So 2 times what? 2 times 6 will give us 12, and 2 plus 6 is 8. So that means we're going to write now the 8 here in terms of 2x. We're going to write the 8x in terms of 2x plus 6x. So we're going to rewrite the expression. And instead of writing 8x, we write this there. So let us see what we have when we do that. So I'm going to rewrite 3x squared plus 2x plus 6x plus 4. Now when we're at this stage, we're going to do what we call group and factorize, or what we call applying the distributive law twice. So you don't have to regroup where we are here. If you want to, fine, but you don't need to. So let us factor the first two. The first two will have x in common. So we have x into 3x plus 2. Factoring out x out of the first two. And then the last two we have plus there. So the last two will have positive 2 in common. We factor out positive 2 from the last two. So 2 into 6x, that's 3x. And 2 into 4, that's 2. So right here now we can see that we have a common factor in 3x plus 2. So our first factor for the answer is going to be 3x plus 2. And the other factor is going to be x plus 2. And the expression is factorized right here. And remember, to factorize is to write the product. So we have a product of two binomials here. So that's our final answer right there. The next one, number 2. A is 1, B is negative 5, and C is 6. So by the AC method, we're going to multiply 1 by 6. So 1 times 6, that will give me, and positive 1 times positive 6, of course, that's going to give me positive 6. So I need two numbers now, so that when I multiply them, I get positive 6, and when I add them, I get negative 5. Now remember, if I want to multiply and get a positive, both numbers must have the same sign. Both numbers must have the same sign. And I want to add and get a negative, so it's clear that I have to make both of them negative, because if I add two positive numbers, there's no way I could get negative for that. So we have to make both numbers negative, since they must have the same sign, because we want to multiply and get positive 6. So let's just try some numbers. So we have 1 times 6, make both of them negative. Negative 1 and negative 6, that's not going to give us negative 5. Let's turn it up here. So the next factor of 6 will be 2. So let's try 2 times 3. Make both of them negative. This looks like it will work. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is b here, negative 5. So we're going to write negative 5x as negative 2x minus 3x. So we rewrite the quadratic expression. We have x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. And as these are the step, at this step you're going to group and factorize. So the first two will have x in common. So I'm going to factor all that x. X into x squared, that's x, and x into minus 2, which is minus 2. And over here now we have a negative here, so we're going to take this, we're going to have a minus 3 in common among these. Minus 3 into minus 3x, that's x. Minus 3 into positive 6, that's negative 2. At this stage now you realize we have a common factor of x minus 2. So x minus 2, we factor that out. So the other factor will be x minus 3. And we're finished. Again, we have written the expression as a product of two binomials right there. So we will factorize. Okay. And then number 3 here, a is 2, b is positive 7, and c is 15. So a times c would be 2 times negative 15. That's going to be negative 30. Now this time you want to find two numbers so that when you multiply them you get a negative 30, right? That means the numbers must have different signs. Now at the same time you have to remember that you want to add and get a positive 7. So when you're adding, just remember that the sign of the answer, if you're adding numbers of different signs, that is, the sign of the answer is going to be the sign in front of the larger absolute value. So you just find some numbers that when you multiply them we get 30 here. So it's 1 times 30. Make the larger one positive because you want to add and get a positive. So make the smaller one negative. Clearly, negative 1 and 30 is not 7. Just try 2 times 15. Again, the larger one stays positive, the smaller one negative. Negative 2 and 15 by no means positive 7. I'll put the other one here. Let's try the next factor of 30 with 3. 3 times 10. And you make the smaller one negative, so we have negative 3 times 10. That's negative 30. And yes, negative 3 times plus negative 10. Negative 3 plus positive 10 is going to give you a positive 7. So we will use these numbers and we're going to rewrite that positive 7x as minus 3x plus 10x. So we'll just do that. So we rewrite 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. No. Sorry about that. We are going to write 2x squared minus 3x we're going to write 2x squared minus 3x plus 10x minus 15. That's what, so you rewrite the 7x as minus 3x. Clear the same value. The first two will have x in common, so we factor that out. So x into, that's going to be 2x minus 3. The second two will have 5 in common, positive there, so we have plus 5. Into 10x, that's going to be 2x. And into minus 15 is going to be minus 3. So as you can see here now, we have a common factor of 2x minus 3. So we will factor it out 2x minus 3, and the other factor is going to be x plus 5, and there you have it. The product, which means we're factorizing. Now number 4, a is 1, b is negative 2, and c is negative 8. So a times c will be 1 times negative 8. That's going to be negative 8. I need two numbers now to multiply and get negative 8, and at the same time add those same two numbers to get negative 2. The numbers will have to take different signs because I want to multiply and get a negative, and that's the only way you can multiply and get negative. The larger one this time, you want to make it negative because you want to add and get negative. The larger one was positive, when you add it, you're going to get positive. So you have to make the larger one negative because you want to add and get a negative. Okay, over here, we made the larger one positive because we want to add and get a positive. That was the number 2. Now, let us try some numbers. 1 times 8. That's going to make the larger one negative, remember. That's not going to give us negative 2 if we add. The next factor of 8 is 2. So we try 2 times 4 will be 8, make the larger one negative because we don't really want negative 8. This looks like it will work. 2x and negative 4x, or 2x minus 4x. That is the same as negative 2x. So we're going to rewrite our expression and write negative 2x as 2x minus 4x. So let's do that. So we have here x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8. We have x in common for the first two, so we factor out that x. We have x plus 2 there. And then our last two, we have to take minus 4 in common. So I got minus here, so minus 4 into minus 4 is x. Minus 4 into minus 4 is positive 2. Close bracket. Clearly, we have x plus 2 as a common factor here, so we take that out. X plus 2 into x minus 4. That's your answer there. It's written as a product of two binomials. So that means we're factorized, and that is it. So remember, the important thing is to find the two terms to break up your b with. Okay? You have to pay careful attention to the signs. You have to think about them carefully before you decide. Alright, that will be it.